My story started. Today we're talking about wild nights that changed us in some way, crazy way, I guess. And you probably expect a story about, I don't know, some crazy thing, some romantic night on Ibiza or something, or when she said yes, or for example, when you fight someone attacked you, or you maybe attacked someone, I don't know. My story is different, and actually it happened in Ukraine when I was a student. I was a poor student, I was broke, and I need to explain that when you're broke in Ukraine, you can afford, like, food quality in Ukraine is of course worse than here in the EU, but if you're broke in Ukraine, the food quality is so shitty, because you can afford only the worst food. And I bought some canned fish in our local supermarket chain. It was terrible, but it was cheap, and I tried it. It tasted just okay, as always. But after some time, I felt that I'm really sick. Like I'm so sick. I even got fever, so I had high temperature. I was really sick. I didn't vomit, and in this situation you can say that unfortunately it's better to vomit in this situation. And I was young and naive and stupid, and I checked my refrigerator and I thought, what can I do? What do I have in my refrigerator? I almost have nothing, and I have milk, and for some fucking reason I decided, okay, maybe I should drink milk and somehow it will help me. And for some reason, I decided to drink hot milk. I think that, like, my association was that when I got fever, I drink hot milk and I'm getting better. And so I thought, okay, maybe I should try this hot milk. So I drank this hot milk, and this hot milk and canned fish in my stomach created some kind of acid, which I felt like something is burning through my stomach. I felt like, I don't know, some freaking hole appeared in my stomach. I felt really terrible. And this was the first time in my life when I actually decided to call an ambulance. Yes, I called an ambulance for myself. I need to explain that ambulance in Ukraine works differently. Surprise, it's better than here. You just call, something is better in Ukraine, finally. And you just call to ambulance, you say, I feel unwell, and they are coming. This is not like here, you say, you call an ambulance and say, I'm almost dying, and they are not coming, because you need to be dying. This is true. And I called an ambulance, they came, they saw my green face, and they took me to a hospital. And the therapy of this doctor, the therapy was the following. So this doctor tried to force me to drink 2 liters of water, not 2 liters of vodka. Ukraine is not Russia, okay? So so I managed to drink slightly more than 1 liter of water. So this doctor, I think it thought that I'm going to vomit and I'm going to feel better, but it didn't happen. And they took me to a big emergency room. It was completely empty. It was for like 7 or 10 people. It was quite big, and I was the only person there. And they gave me this. I checked in English. You call it like 4 drip. So they put a needle in your vein, yes, in your line, and they are giving you some fluids. And after that, I felt much better. It works. This therapy really works very well. But after the doctor disappeared and I was alone in this room, I realized that I have another problem now. 1 liter of water, let's go this way, inside me. And I was about to explode. And I thought, this is so stupid. What this doctor was thinking about. And I was trying to call for a doctor. The doctor is not coming. No one is there, and no one is here. It's the middle of the night. I'm not going to call anyone. And I have this freaking needle in my vein, and I recalling all of this Hollywood movies where, you know, these killers, they are manipulating something with this medical equipment and their victim is dying, and I'm afraid to do any manipulation with this needle or this equipment. I'm scared, but also I'm scared that I'm going to miserably die in this old hospital, Soviet hospital, because because I will explode. And fortunately, I found some randomly lying plastic bottle around my bed. So I'm not gonna go into the details, but I did some gymnastics things and I got rid of that water finally. With this needle, of course, in my vein still. And here's where the real story begins. Yes, because I looked around, I felt much better, but I still didn't want to sleep because I felt unwell and a lot of things happened. It was my first time, like in a hospital, at least in my adult life, and I noticed something. I noticed that it's so quiet. No one is around me. My phone's battery died. I don't have a TV. I don't have an internet. I don't have an MP3 player. I don't have no one to talk to, and like I've never been in this situation before, at least in my adult life. And I started realizing something, and it was something like very new for me. And I started thinking, and I realized that I used to do something every single second. I'm watching TV, I'm playing games, I talk to someone, I can go somewhere, but now I have this needle, I can't go anywhere, I can't do really nothing, and my mind exploded. So initially, of course, I was suffering from this boredom, extreme boredom, but then I realized a lot of things, and in the morning, I woke up, I felt like I woke up not only physically, but mentally. I felt like this is my rebirth or something, because I realized that every single second I was distracted, and I wasn't thinking about myself, my life, my past, my future, not analyzing anything. And I felt like this is wrong. Something wrong is happening with my life. And this story, it began with canned fish, hot milk, and a plastic bottle, and it ended, I believe, it ended with my mental awakening, something like that, because after this situation I realized a lot, and I think that because I was going back to the situation many times, during this day, like I felt amazing. I had a lot of thoughts, a lot of ideas, a lot of inspiration. And long before this, fancy billionaires in Silicon Valley introduced this term, dopamine detox or flow state and everything, I experienced it in this old freaking Soviet building in Ukrainian hospital, in this emergency room. And I think that this was the night that actually changed me, changed my mind, changed my identity. Yeah, this was very important. This is my story. Thank you.